now.
Yo, what's up, everyone? This is episode 24 of the Blurred Podcast. As always,
25 and
25.
Jeez, man.
25. When have I ever messed that up before? Episode 25 of the Blurred Podcast. As always, we have Green Tuner.
Yo.
Creamcast.
Rude boy.
Dark Side.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody?
So vanilla. You're so
and
boring.
myself, the Ed Underground Bay. How are
Wait,
you
did you
guys doing?
skip Creamcast?
No, you said.
He
you
made
said
a noise or something.
I said,
I didn't make a noise. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said rude boy. Rude boy. All right. Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Not much.
Dark Side. What's going on?
What's been on the
No.
news lately?
Screw you. Dark Side. Screw you, Green Turner. Dark Side. Well, do you have anything you want to talk about? Because your mood went from a hero to a zero when we said we weren't going to talk about certain subjects. Are you okay, man?
No, that's unrelated.
Okay.
Don't worry. It's totally unrelated.
Okay.
I believe you had some problematic views.
Problematic views. I can't recall what possibly that could be.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on, but your mood just dropped instantly. Like, you got really upset. So,
well, we shouldn't be talking hot button political issues before the start of you're talking the most hot button political things, and then Creamcast is like 30 seconds discuss 30 seconds. So it's like, what the hell? It's like, your mood certainly changed.
No. You went from cheering to now, man, I don't want to talk about shit. Oh, that's okay though.
I'm good.
You were really
I'm good.
hyped about it.
You said what?
When was I hyped about some regarding? The only thing I'm hyped about is Green Tuner's background. That's about it.
Yeah,
Wow.
Pretty hyped for our audio listeners. This episode, if you can read, obviously, if you can see the title, is all about Ghostbusters. So, Green Turner, please elaborate on your very fine work of art for your background.
Well, mine is about 4 independent women going out there and creating something out of nothing.
Oh,
Catching ghosts,
Busting.
busting all over. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. They actually, they're very innovative because I think at one point like their traps broke, so they're like, hey, we gotta capture the ghost some way somehow, and they actually do it in very innovative ways.
Oh, you've seen this movie or whatever?
Well, yes, we did say last week that we were going to watch all the Ghostbusters. And is this not a Ghostbusters movie?
There must have been one I missed.
It appears to be the some of the equipment seems to be slightly off-brand, just legally dodging some similarities. Any specific reason why?
I just think it's more higher tech. So if you see the suits are more contouring to the body for better movement and performance.
That is true.
Yeah.
Notice the zipper can go all the way to the neckline, but none of them seem to have it zipped up all the way. Is it because is it hot over there or something? Or
well, it just allows for easier movement of the proton packs.
Yeah.
I see.
So allowing extra room around the chest area is peak for performing in such duties.
Peak cooling, peak performance. As a person of a bigger stature, I do like clothing that is very loose or open on me, so that as I perspire, my body's natural air conditioning can actually take effect. And I'm sure that these ladies are wearing such outfits because catching all the ghosts from different sources all around the room is very hard work. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, have you guys know like they're like the whole proton packs are like kind of just like their own like they're like little miniature nuclear like reactors,
Sure.
So it takes a lot of work. It gets hot.
The amount of heat it generates
is
Sure.
must be insane.
Yeah,
Right.
It just seems like all
Especially.
all the clothes are very Cause I just remember from the Ghostbusters movie, the 1984 version, the clothing was very loose. It was very breathable.
Right. But these ladies seem to have the opposite going on there. They're very tight.
Yeah, well, you also gotta take into account that there's a lot of ectoplasm.
I see.
So
Yes, the ectoplasm.
in order to be able to,
There's a lot of ectoplasm.
rinse off that much ectoplasm, you gotta have something that's not as porous as the old uniforms.
Yeah,
you all can be great car salesmen if you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, we're really selling this movie. This is a really great movie. But yeah, no, we honestly, me and Green Tuner, we were very diligent in all our Ghostbusters research for this week. So,
For science.
is all for science, absolutely.
Everything.
Yes. But neither here nor there. I mean, regardless, that's an older movie. We are here to talk about the newest Ghostbusters that just came out. Off the rip, what do you guys think about this movie?
We're talking about the 2016 masterpiece, correct? Which I did watch in its entirety, and
actually, I just finished watching that before we started recording.
The 2016.
2016.
Yes.
I know we talked about how we would watch that, and I turned it on. I started watching it, and I could not
Finish it.
complete it. It was just not.
I saw it from beginning to
interesting.
end again.
Yes.
Wow.
To be honest, I initially wasn't gonna watch it because it wasn't free anywhere.
Sure.
But since I had watched it, I was like, I'll pay for it. And I started streaming, and my wife sat down to watch with me.
Of course, she did.
She pretty much said that it was a long Scooby-Doo episode.
That's a good, yeah.
We
I
were
was surprised. Wow, I thought
bored.
your
tears.
wife. I thought she was watching it because woman empowerment. Like, hey.
Oh no, she hates it. She
Alright,
hates
so
all
much
that. So.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that was the most boring movie ever. And to be honest, I know it's a bad movie, but I was trying to get into the mindset of, you know what, let me give it a fair shot, because there's a lot of things that get shit on, for no reason. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll try to go in with it, hopefully with an open mind. But goddamn, is it boring? It is one of the most boring movies in the world. It's insane how boring it is.
I wouldn't even say it's boring. I don't think it's boring. It's just a remake. It's a shot for shot
remake. Yeah.
It's shot for
shot like remake of the original movie without doing anything interesting or new in any way.
No.
And then the stuff they did try to make new wasn't good. Like, I mean, just because you're going from an ambulance to a hearse, for the Ecto 1, I mean, that didn't even look that good. And then the gadgets they had, the little ghosts. I appreciate the attempt at that. Like, I mean, somebody's gone like, we can't just totally do it the same. I appreciate the attempt, but I never made it this far into the movie, but I seem to recall a scene where they're testing the gadgets in an alleyway, and it was one of the most it was like a slapstick comedy on a level of comedy that Ghostbusters not at. The original Ghostbusters is a comedy. It's not at that level of slapstick comedy. And this was Dumb and Dumber slapstick comedy, which I like. I'm not I'm not against the Dumb and Dumber.
It's not.
It just didn't fit. The tone did not fit.
Dumb and Dumber is great. This was.
It's one thing. Ed, just right now, start talking and don't stop for 5 seconds. Start talking just about random things.
About random things.
Yeah, just start talking.
Anything? Bitch. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
just start talking for 5 seconds. Just
Super
start
Saiyan
talking.
Goku versus Goku.
Yeah.
Black.
So what's happening with it right now? Keep on talking it.
What?
Keep on talking.
Okay. So yeah.
So what's
TV
happening
is
with
going to buy
it, and
Disney
it's going
Plus.
on and down, and you know what happened, and this and that, and blah.
Goku Black
and everything in it. All right,
Frieza
that's
was
basically what
wrong.
the whole movie was. It was people just talking nonsense over each other. It was so bad.
I mean, can we be honest?
The only positive thing were some of the ghost designs were cool.
Right.
The what design?
Yeah.
Ghost designs.
The ghost designs. But can we appreciate let's do this. Let's appreciate the movie for what it was. It was a brave, bold attempt
No.
to be quiet. I am talking. It was a brave, bold attempt. I'm with her. Me too. It was no. I support those movements. But however, it's just a bad movie. It's all in all, 2016. It's just a bad.
It's a shame because
movie.
they could have just given that money to those 4 ladies and said, "Here, make the next Ghostbusters, but don't make Ghostbusters. Here's money."
Right.
And they're all individually very funny. They're individually funny.
Some of them.
I firmly.
What's it called? McCarthy. She's.
I think McCarthy's funny. I mean, I'm saying everything she's done, and the other ones I know from Saturday Night Live, and they've
Leslie Jones.
They have been in good stuff.
No,
yeah, they're good.
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones is not, but like, I mean, she whatever.
She tries so
Leslie
hard.
Jones that
whatever. I don't know what she brought to that like Saturday Night Live. I don't know what she like. Maybe she's a good writer. I don't know enough about it.
I like her saying better.
Okay, well, all I'm saying is you could have brought that same truckload of money and said, all right, these 4 guys in the 80s, these comedians created Ghostbusters, totally off the wall concept. Here's a truckload of money. You guys go in a room and create, the next, version of this, like a high budget comedic blockbuster. And who knows what we could have gotten. Instead, we got something that's like, it's pretty terrible. I'm telling you, like I said, I gave it a shot. Like I've seen this movie in its full entirety, but I just could not make it the second time. It's just
it's a horrible movie.
It's just not good.
I saw it twice. The first time in theaters, which was terrible. The whole crowd in the theater was like just heckling. It was terrible while watching it. I give it a second chance watching on my phone. I had to rent it for like $3. There's some things that I realized were worse that I didn't catch in the beginning. I didn't like this movie. The 2016 movie was terrible.
This movie reminds me.
The actresses, though, I like the actresses, but just the movie itself, no.
I like some of the actresses.
I like 3 of them.
Which 3?
I think they can all be fun.
No, I don't know their names. The blonde chick, the brunette.
The one that was quirky, the quirky weirdo,
the nerdy
scientist.
Yeah. The brunette and the tall black woman.
Yeah.
But the last
Leslie
one,
Jones.
Yeah, Leslie McCartney and Wig.
But the last one, just me personally, I don't find her funny. I don't.
Which one?
Who?
The I don't know her name. So the ones I do like are
Kirsten Wiig or whatever her name is.
Maybe.
Kristen Wiig, the main, your
he liked her.
No, I didn't like her. The last one.
You didn't?
Didn't.
The professor or the one that was.
I like the
main
blonde chick.
character.
I like the blonde chick.
Yeah,
I like
he didn't
that,
like-
and I like the tall black woman.
Kirsten, whatever her name is.
Kristen Wiig. There's Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Melissa McCarthy,
and Leslie.
Jones.
Oh shit! Well, in
Yeah,
that case, I'm
Jones.
completely opposite to it. I only enjoyed Wig. I didn't like the other 3.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the other, like, what's her name? Kay McKinnon, the blonde that you didn't like. I thought that she actually was trying to do something different, where the other ones were all just like, all right, I'm playing the Bill Murray character. Okay, how does Bill Murray sound? Oh, I'm playing, this character. She was actually, she took it and was like, let me just go nuts with this character.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
but
have to agree with
the other ones did the same thing too. I mean, they obviously tried to look at Bill Murray, whatever it was, but it wasn't.
They're all the
exactly
Bill Murray
copying.
character. Yeah,
All
they're all Bill
was
Murray.
They did over exaggeration, like tons of screaming, talking over each other. There was nothing that I could really see that was mimicking the old Ghostbusters in regards to how everyone acted. Everyone had a distinct personality in the old Ghostbusters. In the 2016, they were basically carbon copy except for the crazy scientist one.
I think
that's what I'm saying.
I think what gets me is that I understand you make a movie for a new age, but the thing is that is not good. It's very rare to redo something over again and just replace a male, just replacing male characters with female characters with male characters, just because. There has to be an actual reason behind it, a story behind it. There needs to be something that gives it more viability than just say, hey, I want to replace these characters with some other characters just because we can. How Hollywood has been, maybe very male centric in the older years with movies. Is not the same as it is today. And
what other example do you have? What are you celebrating, dude? This is the most egregious. This is the most egregious example of that. We all agree.
Yeah.
You're like, taking a victory lap.
I mean, obviously,
it's like the easiest layup.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. I don't know why you're taking this to be the example, because there's other movies. Like I said, I thought Ocean's 8 was a good adaptation of that, of taking the all male cast pretty much to an all female cast, but they did it in such a way that they did it more as, here's the progression of the storyline, not, hey, we're just doing this and kind of just replacing it just because that would be a cool thing to do.
But they did that though.
What?
They did replace, like, there was Sandra Bullock's the George Clooney character. I forgot who the Brad Pitt character was, but they had those personalities. But I get what you're saying. They didn't outright replace them. They're in the same continuity, but it's basically the same movie with an all-female cast.
Yes, but they did it in such a way that it made it viable, right?
It was viable.
It was viable, and while it wasn't the greatest Ocean's movie in the series, it was a contender in of its own right, because it could stand on its own merits, I guess you could say. But with this one, I take that's shaky. That's shaky at best. But the 2016...
That's a slight hint of disagreement on Darkseid's face when you're saying that. He's like...
Yeah, no, that's what I say. It's shaky.
What is...
That the viability...
That it was a contender.
Of the Oceans.
One of the best Oceans.
No.
It is the worst in that franchise.
No. I didn't say it was the best. Now you're putting words in my mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said, no, it was a contender. It was a contender.
He said it was the greatest. I'm sorry.
No, okay, yes, that's exactly what I said.
Quintessential.
The quintessential. It's the quintessential Oceans movie. No, I'm saying that it's a contender, that it could be part of the franchise without being like the black sheep of them all. Like, like we look at Iron Man, right? The Iron Man movies, like the Iron Man 1 is the quintessential best Iron Man. But Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, that's the black sheep. Like nobody comes out.
Hold on, we talked about Iron Man 3 being amazing here.
Okay.
It is pretty good.
Iron Man 2, I'll agree with you, is the black sheep.
The women's Oceans is the worst, so that would be the black sheep, right?
But the thing is, there's also
it's not. It's not terrible. That's where I stand. It's not terrible. It works. I can watch it, but compared to the first three, it's nowhere. Like, why would I watch that when I can watch the first three?
Exactly.
I got you.
Think of it like a Fight Club if it was all women instead, right? Like, it just wouldn't work as well as the original.
And yet, I've seen that movie before, though.
Yeah, I mean. It's been there. They've gone there.
Yeah.
But it's just it is.
Thank you, Japan.
Can we think of any other? These are the two examples we have.
I know we keep bringing these.
I know. That's why I
said.
Is there
another example? Am I crazy? Like, is there another example where this has happened? Ed Underground knows.
Just replacing
basically
all
total
women.
like cast swap like this.
Not that I could think of off the top of my head, but I'm sure there is.
I think just those two, right?
No, I'm sure there's more.
I really can't think of anything else.
There might
from Ghostbusters. Since
I'm surprised that Ed Underground doesn't know this. This is practically your bread and butter here.
You
for most
do,
of your...
yeah. You do get pretty excited.
CW.
This is disappointing. What?
All of CW.
ECW?
No,
all of CW.
Like Batgirl and all this other stuff.
Oh, like that one clip I sent you guys.
Yeah, but Batgirl is its own thing. It's
Batwoman.
Batwoman, I'm sorry.
It's a Batwoman.
Batgirl. Both of them have
Supergirl.
been around for a while.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
Both of them have been around.
Supergirl's been around for a while.
It has been around
for some reason. For a while.
Yes.
No,
is the new MacGyver a girl or something? Like they've done this somewhere, right?
There is a female MacGyver. There is a female MacGyver.
Yeah, there's something.
No, no, it's not MacGyver. It's a male MacGyver. There's another gender swapped character.
I don't think it's out yet though. There's something.
No. There's another one. There's what's that Denzel? Denzel.
Oh yeah,
played it.
Queen Latifah
Queen
is the
Latifah.
Denzel.
Yeah, she's
in
the
what's the name of that series?
Not
The
the-
Protector.
The
No.
payback or the
not negotiator.
in something.
The closer.
Yeah, it's the closer, the
Is it
No,
negotiator,
it's-
no,
the keeper, the
I think it's
get-
like in something. The in
insider.
Equalizer.
Equalizer.
Equalizer. That's what it was. And I mean, do I think Queen Latifah overall is she a great actress? No, not necessarily. She's a good actress. I will enjoy watching her occasionally, but I mean, I think this is like, if you want to get Ed Underground riled up, this is a conversation for him.
And Underground, where are the examples of this? I'm not gonna lie. I get bored of this conversation at this point because it's like, okay, we get it that remakes of movies, for the most part, even if when they're kept with male to male characters, are usually trash. Let's think of
a lot of them are
there's
trash.
a lot of trash, and there's male characters. Like keeping a male character in a remake with another male character does not even mean that's going to be good. That doesn't mean a lot of times they're trash.
A lot of times
And then
trash.
with female, when they try to, whether they're trying to do an agenda or they're not, a lot of these remakes, even with women, are trash. I can't think of me personally. I can't think of anyone that was a remake with a woman in it where I was like, is good. I can't think of anything, and not because I'm not trying to give a female remake credit. It's just I just can't think of any off the top of my head right now. But the thing is,
like
that,
you said, most remakes are bad.
Yeah, it's just bad.
That's what it is.
So regardless of
who's in it.
Yeah, regardless of who it is, I just get bored of this conversation only because it's just we've hammered home that like 2016 was a bad movie. Was it bad because of the female actors in it? No, it was just really bad writing. Bad writing. It was just not funny. And it just comes down to a point of Hollywood. If you're going to do these things, a lot of people will accept them. But the thing is, if you're going to touch a beloved franchise, mostly from a nostalgia standpoint, you have to do it in a way that is going to be appreciated by the fans. There are always going to be haters that are going to say, oh, look at you're just putting women in here, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Those are usually incels, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But for the rest of the crowd who has a problem with stuff like this, usually, I would say for the most part, it's not because it was women. Because if it was a great movie, people will love it. But if you're putting people into roles just to make sure you check boxes, and I would love to have an all-female Ghostbusters movie. Have it be good. Make sure that the actresses that you put in, you're utilizing them to the maximum. Because there's some funny actresses out there that could just absolutely kill the roles. I believe all 4 of these women could have killed the roles if they had a better script. And I'm just being honest. But like I said, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have a feeling that even if the 2016 Ghostbusters was good, even if we all agreed that it was good, I'm sure certain people wouldn't like the direction that would be moving everything towards.
Yeah,
well, and what's wrong with that?
Not at all. I mean, like I say, your background is the perfect example of all-female.
That's right.
That's
right. This is my female.
I keep coming. I keep coming to it again and again. I'm like, I have to keep watching that movie. I have to keep watching that movie, and I
keep coming to it.
To it again and again. Trap card, yeah.
One thing I noticed with the 2016 that I didn't catch it or just like I was so annoyed with it the first time watching it is all the jokes that they did towards men, specifically towards Thor. I forgot his actual name.
Chris Hemsworth.
If it was switched, if that was a whole male cast and the person who played Thor was a female, that wouldn't fly by. None of that would fly by.
I think.
I mean, that's flown for years.
But
today's day and age,
but I think that might have been the commentary there. That might have been the commentary there.
I mean, not in Ghostbusters back then, but I'm just saying overall movies, there's a lot of ditzy female characters.
Yeah, it's literally, there's a thing called a ditzy blonde. I mean, that's not they're not talking about a male. They're talking about a female. It's a trope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's existed for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
So, and it's always a secretary that's the ditzy blonde. So maybe, they were trying
Except
to...
Ghostbusters.
Except Ghostbusters. She was a clever, feisty woman. Anyways, talking about nostalgia porn and porn, let's talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife,
Ooh.
which we just all watched.
All right,
Yep.
I have a confession.
No, don't worry about it. We're just gonna go ahead and go forward with the review there.
Okay, I have a confession. I actually did watch it, which is surprising.
okay.
I know.
That is surprising.
That is very surprising.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see where.
Yeah, I
I thought
did
you were
watch
to
it.
say you didn't.
No, I actually did watch it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That must mean that somebody's wife allowed them to go to the theater.
Yes, actually, I did not go with my wife.
Oh,
I actually went with my brother-in-law. We went to go see it. I was chaperoned. But no, yes, I actually did go see it, and I regretted seeing it.
Really?
Wow.
I would have wished I would have saw it in the comfort of my own home. I realize now that I don't like going to movie theaters anymore if I don't have to. We just have really annoying kids in the background that were talking throughout the whole
yes.
thing. The
I
theater,
can agree.
yeah,
I can
the theater was completely empty. And
I had a very similar experience where I was sitting. I went this afternoon. So this afternoon is Tuesday afternoon. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna avoid all people. I'm gonna go in the middle of the afternoon. No one's gonna be there. I go in. It's empty. I'm like, sweet. I get the center seat. They tell you to reserve a seat. You know, that's how it is these days.
Sure.
I, of course, sit wherever the hell I want because, you know, America.
Yeah.
And empty theater, and then a family walks in. Kids, mom, dad, like 4 kids, and they're coming up. I'm like, come on, you got to be kidding me. Then they're slowly coming up into my row. The whole theater's empty, into my row, and I'm like, all right, tell me they're not actually abiding by the seating chart. And they're coming, creeping towards where I am, and sure enough, they pass me, and I don't say a word because I was going to be like, look, I'll sit anywhere else. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the father didn't say anything, and they kind of just went a little further over, and they sat down, and then a little while later, some more kids showed up. So I wasn't totally alone like I wanted to be, but I had kids with me in the theater, and I was dreading it. I was rolling my eyes as the trailers was playing. I'm like, great. Now I'm going to have these kids. I hope there's no jump scares. Them kids are going to be crying, or I don't know what's going to go on. I had a great experience with those kids in the theater. I got to say, they loved when Stay Puft scene happened in the Walmart. They were having a great time. These kids were well behaved. They were quiet when they needed to be.
Wow.
They weren't like annoying, like, oh, who's that, mommy? I want to, I'm hungry. None of that was going on. And the Stay Puft scene was happening. Kids were having a great time. They were laughing. They were remarking on all the things that I thought, if I was a kid watching the original Ghostbusters, I'd probably laugh and point at certain things. So I don't know. I had this like nostalgia going on the screen, and this nostalgia going on like around me, where these kids are just genuinely enjoying a movie. This one like kid was losing it when the Ecto 1 chase sequence was happening, and I was losing it too because I liked that scene a lot.
Yeah.
And like I feel like both of us would have ran out and got the toy right after that.
Wow.
So
You guys start fighting over a toy at
Yeah.
Walmart.
Right.
I'm gonna deck that kid.
Punch him.
Yeah. That kid would not have.
I'm an
survived.
adult.
Yeah. Right.
Specifically at Walmart after watching the movie.
What?
Oh no, you'll go specifically to Walmart.
Oh yeah, that's product placement. I got it.
Yeah.
I'm programmed already.
Yeah. All right. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the movie, or your experience?
I liked it.
Going.
A theater experience?
My experience
Yeah.
was good. The theater was a bit, I don't know, there was like a loose pipe or something.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever there was like a silent scene, I would just hear the rattling of the pipe all the way in the ceiling.
What the
But
hell?
aside from that, yeah, I don't know why.
Gas leak
The
or
damn
something?
theater, ghetto ass theater. I don't know.
Yeah, it must have been good.
But
Yeah. No bullshit.
but yeah, I liked the movie. It was good.
Yeah. I mean, what about you, Ed? What do you think about it?
So I've noticed something too. The experience going to a movie theater. After this whole lockdown experience, I've been seeing movies like during the daytime, and there's always a family in there, always with kids. And I've never had a good experience with a family being in there because there's always some kids making noise or whatever, leaving, running in the theater. I'm not kidding either.
Yeah.
This one was actually tamed. It was decent. There was like several families in there. But the movie itself, I unexpectedly enjoyed it. I would say it's a little bit slow in the beginning, but I really enjoyed this movie more so than the 2016 remake. And I'll say this: the 12-year-old actress, I forgot her name, who was the grandchild, the little kid.
Character's name was Phoebe, I believe.
Callie.
Phoebe.
Yeah,
That's
that's Phoebe.
I thought it was Callie.
I thought it was Phoebe.
I thought it was Phoebe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I'm bad with names.
She is, even though she's what, 12, maybe 15, I don't know. She's a good actress.
She
was great.
Yeah,
She was great.
She carried that movie for sure.
Yeah,
She did. Okay.
She did.
Yeah.
She
She did
reminded
an
me so
amazing job
much.
too.
All the kids, all the young kids.
they all did.
Of course, my hatred of teenagers continues to this day. So I won't comment on the older kids, but the younger kids, Phoebe and
Podcast. Yeah.
No. Podcast. Who, someone who also has a podcast like us, who probably no one is listening to, just like us.
Yeah. Wow.
It really struck a tone. Like, I mean,
did.
podcast was great. I thought he was very funny, and I thought the combination of those two, messing around with the proton pack, all their like back and forth stuff that you'd think like was stupid with a kid named Podcast, I really genuinely liked, and I thought was funny.
Well, and what the Phoebe character also did was she did like a really good, not an impersonation, but a really good mirror to what Egon, how Egon was.
Egon, yeah.
It was very straightforward, and the joke wasn't her being goofy. It was just her being so straightforward that it was funny.
Yeah.
With you know the things that she said. So it did remind me a lot of Egon, of how she would like say things or analyze things, or sometimes like do deadpan jokes at the wrong times, because she didn't have what is it, Asperger's, right? Or whatever it is, or autism. I have no idea what it could be.
I don't know what it is.
Where she doesn't know the situation where
she
you're
can-
supposed to say jokes. She'll
I
just say
hate-
them.
Right.
Social awareness or something? I don't know.
Yeah, she can't. She has no social
Lack of
awareness.
social awareness.
I'm just
Yeah.
happy. Can we? One thing it annoys me. Can we stop having kids with autism, like being like Hollywood autism? I don't know if you guys know what that is, but Hollywood autism is, in Hollywood they give kids autism, but they always make them super smart, right? Like they always make them like, hey, like. I can't take in too many noises. I go crazy, but I am a PhD level physicist at the age of 8. Like, can we? That's probably one of the most annoying tropes in movies. Is that autism gives you like this superpower to being ultra smart. Like it's annoying. Like
Not just really being into Pokemon cards.
Yeah, like
whatever
yeah,
actual autistic people have.
Yeah, like autistic people are just regular people. Not every autistic person in the movie has to be ultra smart. Like a good example is you guys remember Predators? The movie Predators?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the son.
Predator was autistic?
No, Predators. Remember the son?
Autistic.
No, not the alien.
There's all.
I was trying to make a joke about
yeah,
autistic
toothpicks. You stop the predator, you just throw toothpicks on the ground.
Yeah.
The predator stops and counts them.
Hollywood has gone way too far. It's like,
God, why do I do this to myself? Why do I set these trap cards for myself, and then I step into
The
them?
ship has a new paint job where it's just the puzzle pieces of different colors all over.
I don't know why I do this. Why do I do this? Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'll continue my point.
Yeah,
It's
what's
just
your point?
Phoebe. Yeah, she's obviously has autism or something like that, and it's just like they make her super. It's just a trope that they do, and it's annoying. But
I don't know if
to be fair,
she had some kind of autism. Did they?
no, she mentioned
autism.
she mentioned something to the effect of
It may
I
be,
can't.
but it makes sense in this movie because she's basically
Egon.
Egon
Yeah.
in a new body, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Egon was the same way. He behaved exactly the same way as the kid. So in this, it makes sense. But you're right. If you actually want to see true autism, all you gotta do is, Google Chris Chan, and you'll see how different, real autism is.
Yeah, but it's just I just hate Hollywood autism because they portray people It's like it's like having a movie with black people, but then the only thing that black people do are either slaves or or athletes or something like that, and we all got game. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
like,
no, hold on. You forget one major role, timeless role for black people,
What's
which
that?
is criminal. Exactly.
That's true.
Every time.
that's very true.
You don't need
That is
one
That's
true.
very
major
true.
crime, unfortunately.
What's
That
up?
or the first people that get killed in a
horror
movie
movie.
for some
Yeah,
reason.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's not always true. I mean, look at Deep Blue Sea.
He got eaten
LL
by a
Cool J-
shark.
No.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Oh, I'm thinking
Yeah,
LL Cool
Samuel
J.
Jackson
Samuel
comically got
Jackson.
eaten by a shark.
Yeah, I'm thinking
In the
LL
middle of
Cool
his
J.
They both
speech,
got
as I
jacked
recall.
by
Yeah,
sharks.
but
Yeah.
that was comedy gold.
Wait,
I mean,
didn't LL Cool J make it to the end?
Yeah, I just
thought he
said.
died,
I
did
just no. He made it to the end.
Yeah,
Oh,
LL Cool
my
J made
bad.
it to the
I'm
end.
confusing him with
Sam Jackson dies.
Yeah,
in
Samuel L.
the-
Jackson dies. Yes, but
Yeah,
LL
Okay,
Cool
well,
J
in the
the
was-
most hilarious
movie
way.
where the
You
black person
confused him,
actually made it
huh?
all the way through.
Yeah, are you
confused him,
Are you
huh?
confusing?
Yeah, quiet, Eric.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know we all got it confused, you son of a bitch.
Or Ed, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Jeez.
anyways.
the fuck? What the hell? Anyways, like if you're gonna call his name out, at least be right about it.
You got Gus confused too, Dark Side?
Yeah, a little bit.
It happens, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it happens.
Yeah, I sometimes.
Stop moving around so much, all right? I can't see the name on the bottom right corner.
I am so confused. Anyways,
That's his autism. Leave him alone.
yeah, leave him alone. It's a superpower. Um,
There's a joke that I could make right now because the actual bottom right name on both people I can make the joke about is the same. And that's more of a technical error, but which is
Cream Cat? Oh,
yeah. it's only a reference to us. It's only going to be funny to us.
yeah, it would be
nobody
funny.
can
to-
see it.
Yeah.
Nobody will see
All right,
it.
moving on back to
Yeah.
Afterlife here.
Yeah, back to
Yeah,
Afterlife.
I also like the movie a lot. Dripping, oozing, completely like you can't even like take how much. Where's the actual movie and where does the nostalgia end or begin? This
Yes,
movie all over
yes.
the place.
Yeah,
Let me say the Ecto One. It's a great movie car. In this movie, the features on the Ecto One are all from the freaking toy. Do you guys know this?
Yes.
Mm.
He had the door when it opens up. And
Yeah, the gunner seat was never in the movie. It was a toy feature,
Mhm.
and the
yeah, I
little
didn't see it in the first movie. I thought it was just an improvement that Egon did, but it's from the toys.
It's from the
it's
toy.
from the toy, and they just like they incorporated it into Afterlife, which I like the idea of that, but it's so like cheaply nostalgic. Like there's so many moments in this movie that are cheaply
Yes.
nostalgic, and I like it, and I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of liking
I
it,
love
but I'm
them. Yeah.
I liked a lot of it, and I was looking at it going like, I shouldn't like this. This is disgusting. That's disgusting. This man is dead for God's sake, and like etc. etc. etc.
yeah.
When they
But
bring him back to life to
Wow.
reunite him.
yes,
Yeah.
so we could talk
Yeah.
about that. Like, and I want to know your guys' feelings on that. And of course, I'm referring to Harold Ramis, who passed away.
Rest
Is
in peace.
rest in
2014.
peace.
He's been dead for a while too.
Dead for a
Yeah.
while, and he is in the movie a good deal. His presence is in the movie. Egon's presence is in the movie, and then he's physically you could see his physical manifestation in the movie.
Yeah.
Just like Grand Admiral Tarkin from Rogue One and Princess Leia from Rogue One, they've resurrected a dead person, or not, like
That one looked
Well,
horrific.
to give it
which
credit,
one?
Well,
The
It's
one from
It's about Carrie
Star Wars.
Fisher.
Rogue
One?
One.
He's about Carrie Fisher.
No, Carrie Fisher was better than the Rogue One because they did a close up on
Tarkin.
I'm sorry.
Tarkin.
I never
in the
noticed
close-up-
Tarkin until after, until I watched it at
Really,
home.
when I saw it,
yeah,
because I saw it in theaters, I think I got the what is that thing called where there's something off about whatever you're seeing.
oh, Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley. It hit me
Yeah.
really hard, and I'm like, oh, it was so disturbing. I was like, God.
Yeah,
well, I think the person that played the ghost of Egon, I don't think it was CG face wise. I think it was just another actor who kind of dressed up as an old version of the 1984 character. Because if I recall, the person, I forgot his name, who played Egon before he passed away, he was a little bit more chubbier in the face.
yeah, but that's
Yeah,
that's
but
that's
they-
Harold Ramis though.
Yeah,
They-
he got.
I know, but
yeah,
they
he
brought
actually got fat.
the Egon from the 80s movies or whatever, that
Yeah.
visage. They didn't bring back Harold Ramis. but it very clearly was a CG. Even if they
No,
had
but
a guy,
that is
they
that
CG'd
is
the face.
yeah, that's
That
CG.
was him.
Harold Ramis we saw is CG
Yeah.
Harold Ramis as of what 2014 or whenever he passed away.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
like, I mean, he was in movies before he passed away, so it's like I've seen an older version of him before, and that's him.
I think
But,
it meant the weight. Like he
Yeah, the
wasn't
weight,
as
it was-
big as Harold
No, no.
Ramis was when he.
No,
know.
he had his Ghostbusters 2016, not 2016, 1984 look, his build,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
with
Build
his
was
with
gone, yeah.
his
Just
face. Yeah, his face.
Yeah, and the face they grabbed, his aged face. From,
It's his face and implanted it, and then just matched it to his build. I mean, I'll say this. You guys are giving it nostalgia praise and all this other stuff. I'm gonna be honest. I thought the movie was fairly boring. I thought this movie, it was dripping, oozing ectoplasm everywhere of nostalgia. But this movie, outside of, I think her name is, what's her name? McKenna. What's the actress's name?
I don't know. Phoebe.
Just say Phoebe. Phoebe. She carried the movie. I think the kids definitely carried the movie. Paul Rudd, I definitely enjoyed the cast. The cast was good. The cast was very good for this movie.
Yeah.
It's
the
just
mom, Carrie Coons, was really good too.
Yeah, she was really good.
Great performance from her.
Yeah, it was all around great actors all around. I thought it was just boring. A little bit too much nostalgia. Where I'm like I wish they would just focus more on a newer generation of Ghostbusters and live action.
They did
form.
focus on the new
No.
generation.
What I'm saying is like I just felt like I wish instead of just this is the granddaughter of so and so, like do something completely different.
Oh, separate?
Like,
Yeah,
completely
I gotcha.
separate. Like not everything always has to tie into one another. And we know that Ghostbusters was a franchise, they could have did so much more. Overall, it was a great film. I will say it was a great film overall. Still a good film. It was just boring to me because I was expecting more. The way that they brought back the original villain from the first one,
Gozer.
Dozer,
The Gozerian.
yeah, bringing that back and tying that all in, I thought that was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, because it was pretty much a direct
You thought
sequel.
that was kind of cool?
No, I would say it's kind of cool. No, I would say it's cool that they were trying to tie it in, but I thought it was cheesy that they just went almost with the exact same look of the '84 version. I'm just like,
well, I think that was the coolest thing. The Terror Dogs looked like they were claymation, and I
looked like
loved
the
it.
old-
No,
Yeah.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought they were, like Goro had the, it wasn't an animation. It was
Rubber
an actual
suit?
I'm
Yeah.
think it
Animatronic.
was rubber suits, animatronic at some points. I think it
Yeah.
was on the car.
I think they
Some parts,
leaned
yeah.
towards that. Yeah.
It's
And
like
you guys
some
know
parts.
it
that.
was a CG, but they made it look like an animatronic.
I
which
think it was animatronic.
You guys know that the
Fucking
director of
awesome.
this movie is the son of the original director
Yes.
of the original Ghostbusters,
I
Ivan
know.
Reitman's
Yeah.
son.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Jason
I mean,
Reitman.
wow.
I
And
know
Ivan
that.
Reitman was on the set with him like every day, apparently. So that's why it's very heavily connected to that first movie. Now, to be fair, we just talked about the 2016 reboot, and we just talked about how one of the biggest things I didn't like about it was it's a carbon copy of the original movie. This movie is, the first two acts are uniquely slightly different, and then the third act is a carbon copy of the original movie
Yes.
Yes.
minus a giant Stay Puft.
Yeah.
But it's the base, and then it becomes callbacks that I laughed out loud to, specifically the scene where someone asked someone, "Are you a god?"
Yeah.
And me and like the dad were like laughing it up in that theater. There's so many scenes where the kids are like, "Who's that? What's going on?" Like, I mean, like, but there were some clear jokes aimed towards the 30 to 40-year-old members of the audience. And there were some that, like I said, I was in the theater with the kids. There were jokes aimed towards kids. This is definitely a movie, I think, that's aiming somewhere in the middle. It's trying to get everybody, like trying to cover all the bases. And very familiar formula here. Star Wars: The Force Awakens did the exact same thing. Old cast, new cast,
Okay.
remake the first movie.
And then try
Same
to
ending as the first movie.
do something in the middle.
Exact same formula to a T.
Yeah.
And that's the
Mhm.
first. That's the exact thing I got walking out of this movie. This is Star Wars: Force Awakens again.
Yeah.
And I liked when I first saw the Force Awakens. I liked it. It did the exact same thing for me that this movie did for me.
Mhm.
Nostalgia. Everyone was happy. Everyone was hopeful. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is cool." The new characters were interesting. Like the old characters you loved were there. They didn't take too many risks, so they were like, "Let's just do the same thing again."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Play it
So
safe.
That's
I
a
don't
very
know.
fair point that you saying they didn't take risk,
Nope.
and that's with this movie. It didn't feel like a huge risk. It was the exact It was pretty
Safe
much
bet.
It was
It was close
Ghostbusters 1.
enough. It wasn't as, like you say, it was only the third act that really was repeating
Yeah.
the old one, but the first two acts weren't really. They
I
were
think
kinda their own thing.
this movie leans a little bit more into the, and it for good better reason, the sentimentality of the nostalgia in this movie is
Yes.
it's stronger than
Yeah.
the sentimentality of the nostalgia in the Force Awakens.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I choked up a lot towards the end where
Yeah.
Harold Ramis appears.
When they
Like,
all
I think there
reunite,
was-
yeah.
Well, the
same
scene
here.
where she's holding the
Goddamn.
the
Yeah.
proton pack and his hand
Yeah.
appears.
Oh,
Pierce,
yeah.
Goku,
Now that got me
Gohan
good.
meeting,
That got me really,
Same
really
here.
good.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
that Goku Gohan moment when
I don't know what the hell
well,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
I know what he's talking
Nah,
about.
ignore him.
This is
No,
Dumb
but
as hell.
I don't know. To be honest, I didn't like the Force Awakens at all.
I
Even
didn't
back
either.
then, I told you I didn't like it. But
Still
for
don't.
some reason, this one I really liked. I
Yes.
don't know what it is about this movie that made me really like it.
Mhm.
And I can see Creamcast's point where it is boring,
Mhm.
but like you said, it was hitting the right nostalgia notes at the right point in the right way, where it was just constantly,
small
keeping me
things. Yeah.
interested.
It wasn't
It
like
is.
Exactly.
You're
they
right.
didn't
It,
like
it wasn't in your face. It was
Yeah.
like nice small things. I was like, oh goddamn, that is so cool.
It was
there's some-
touching.
touching.
Well,
I don't
towards
know.
the end, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were certain things like with the Crunch Bar and Egon's.
The Crunch Bar was stupid. I was really
Crunch
pissed
Bar,
at the
eh.
Crunch Bar. And
No,
there's
but-
a later scene with a Twinkie that I'm just like, all right, I get it. This car's from the 80s.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
But not in that. It was just.
I think it was more like the one was talking about the whatever where Egon was talking
Yeah.
about the Twinkie example.
Yeah.
Well, no. When Egon
Yeah, that's
appeared-
true.
When Egon
Yeah, but
appeared,
again, those are like,
That was
you're
touching.
just showing me a Twinkie because, oh, okay, you're referencing a very specific scene from the movie.
Yeah.
You're showing me a Crunch Bar because you're referencing very specific. That kid's putting on the helmet thing that
yeah.
measures your
Yeah,
psychic.
yeah.
Like, I get it,
But
dude.
what I'm saying is that ultimately they didn't throw it into your face. It wasn't like,
Yes.
oh my goodness, look, like there's a Crunch Bar. I wonder what this means, Grandpa. Crunch, yeah, crunch, yeah, crunch, crunch, crunch. It was more of a, hey, she pulls out the Crunch Bar out of the pocket, and just like, and just throws it to the side. For an average person watching that, because I mean, they still make Crunch Bars, I'm assuming. They're going, they will be like, oh, it's a Crunch Bar. Like kids are going to see it's just a Crunch Bar or whatever. But for people who've seen the old one, they're like, oh, because that's what he was given. Egon was given a Crunch Bar for doing a good job. I forgot for that one when they captured the first ghost or whatever. So it was good. Like that. I mean, like the nostalgia. It's just like I said. It's hard for me to say that it wasn't. I'm torn. It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was a good movie. And
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie to a point where it was good for like a one-time viewing thing. I'll probably never watch this movie again. And
Really? I look forward to
wouldn't mind
watching
watching
it.
it.
I'll watch it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
I
no,
do
no,
too.
no. I will watch it again. I have no problem watching it again. But what I'm saying is, it's not going to be like
It doesn't drive you to watch it again.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on the Friday
Okay, I
night.
got you.
Friday night talking
And
about, man, you know what I
I
want to
think
do?
we're all
Watch this
agreeing
movie.
with Creamcast too that this is a good movie. I don't think anyone here's saying that it's a great movie. Like for me, up to this point, nothing has come to and I know I kiss his ass in the last couple of episodes, but Dune. Like Dune just set such a damn high bar
Yeah,
that
Oh, Denny.
everything I've watched so far, it's good,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's not Dune.
Yeah.
Like Dune, I'm not kidding. I've been telling my wife that I want to go watch this again in theaters before it leaves because I need to see it,
I won't
in
lie.
theaters again.
I do want to watch it
So,
in theaters.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well,
But
that
I mean, I
match
agree with you in that point that it's a good movie. It's not a great movie. Just for me personally, it brought back a lot of feelings. And like Darkseid was saying, at the end where when you see his hand grabbing her hand and everything, it's corny. They knew what they were doing, and they still got me too. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I knew what they were doing too when that happened.
And that,
You
I'm
know, you know
go
what
ahead.
legitimately
And
Whoa, shit! What the
Eric's
hell?
talking.
Ed, no,
Eric's
no, no.
talking.
Ed's having a stroke right now. Ed, you okay?
what? Look, you know what legitimately almost scared me is the
What?
scene where Ivo came to life for a
Mhm.
quick second. Like he was coming to life. He wasn't fully alive yet, but you
Oh,
like saw his
Shangor?
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he turned his head,
Oh,
his eyes
that
were
was
still like
crazy.
I was not expecting that.
I'm
I
not surprised.
love
Wait,
that they
his
did
eyes
that.
were still there?
His
Yeah.
eyes were like not black, but they were like kind of grayish.
Yeah, like he was dead.
You saw the pupils. He was
Yeah, it was
half dead.
Yeah,
cloudy.
He was coming alive.
Sorry,
and
I was thinking of that part. I was thinking when Gozer fucking tore
Rips it.
him in half.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
like
that was so
paper.
good.
Yeah,
that was good.
I'm not
Dude,
gonna lie.
there were-
Damn.
No, I was not
With
expecting
no
good.
effort.
I was not
I was not
expecting that
expecting
either.
that
There's a lot of like, you know how we talk about how there are movies in the '80s where we watched Ghostbusters. We all watched it as a kid, right? We all watched it several times as children,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and at least we forget that Dan Aykroyd gets a blowjob from a ghost in that movie, and we watched that as kids.
My favorite scene.
several
Yeah.
times. Many people's favorite
several
scene.
times.
Now
It
we
is
know where
cons-
ectoplasm comes from.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we all know. And the following sequel to that one scene that's behind
I was
Green
just in
Tuner.
bed waiting
Yeah.
for that ghost to come. I'm like, why isn't this ghost coming into my room?
Yeah.
No, what I was saying is like the movies from the '80s that were meant for kids had a lot of jokes for adults, and you didn't get, of course, like. And when I was a kid, I didn't get the whole keymaster and the gatekeeper.
Blowjob scene.
Yeah, well, what
Even
the
the blowjob
keymaster
scene,
and
to be honest, I didn't get it when I was young.
me neither.
Yeah.
I didn't get the
I didn't
blowjob
either.
scene. I didn't get it.
I
didn't
didn't
either.
get that. And I didn't understand how bad he was trying to sleep with what's her face,
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney?
Alien girl.
Rick Moranis?
Yeah, like I didn't understand it. Like as a kid, like man,
Like
he
before
should-
or after? You're talking about before he becomes possessed or after?
before after she becomes possessed.
After.
He's like
Yes,
he was
where
talking
she's
about
like-
laying in the bed and he's like, yeah, I usually don't do this when people are possessed, but I might make an exception.
Oh yeah. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's
Yes.
character. Yeah, and Bill Murray.
Oh
was
yes.
pretty
There's a
much
lot
like-
of questionable things he does.
Bill Murray was pretty much talking about, I know you possessed, but yeah, I might.
Yeah.
About to
That's
give you
the
some
'80s for you, man.
About to give you this ectoplasm.
But there's a little touches of that kind of comedy in this movie, and it's
No,
not
no,
like
it's not
all around
touches.
the.
Not as much.
No, bullshit.
No.
It's not, you're saying little touches. It was very obvious for us adults. Like,
No. In this movie is what I'm talking about.
yes, in the 2021.
after-
The new one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Afterlife.
It wasn't
There's a-
subtle at whatsoever. They're like, hey, did we, we,
Oh, I mean that's whatever. Though.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's not what I'm talking about.
That's
Well,
nothing
I'm talking
compared to
about-
the 20.
I'm talking about
to the
we
1984 one.
referenced this. Sorry, what was that, Ed?
That's nothing compared to the 1984 one.
oh, yeah, you can't do the same things you did in
You
1984.
can't, no.
yeah.
But it was for kids.
Right. That's
though.
why I said there's touches of it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still aimed at kids, but there's touches of those. Like, I mean, I'm not talking about the whole like them referencing,
The
sex.
Keymaster.
What I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about is like the
we're
Keymaster.
adults
I'm
here.
talking about like squeaking in horrific elements into this movie, like when she tore
In
Ivo
half.
in half, which is such a like unexpected and brutal death.
Yeah.
There's some scenes with terror dogs that I thought were a little like surprised that they leaned back into the jump scare in a couple scenes with
Yeah.
the horror elements.
Yeah.
I'm always curious what what kids find scary or not scary. I'm always very curious, like, are these kids going to react or not react? And the kids I was with in the theater, they jump scared at the right scenes, but they laughed at a lot of it. So they seem to have a good time. So I feel like they brought a little bit of that 80s riskiness, just a little bit. I'm not
I
saying
felt
full
that.
on. Yeah, there was no
I felt that.
blowjob scene.
I'm-
Well, I think they even
yeah.
yeah, but I think they even referenced that too. Remember, because Paul Rudd was playing old like horror movies that
Yeah.
we all watched as kids.
Yeah.
Yes,
and he was playing
yeah.
it to his very young children.
Yeah.
He played Cujo in
Cujo
Child's
and
Play.
Yeah,
Child's
it's cool.
Play.
And we know
Child's
he
Play.
all watched Cujo and
Yeah.
Child's Play at a very young age.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when they did the Child's Play scene and you
Yeah.
just hear Chucky's voice, I started busting out laughing. I thought that was so hilarious. Like his scream in the movie, Ghostbusters is not meant to be a horror movie, but it like those scenes. Literally, and even Cujo, when Cujo's chasing like a cat or a rabbit or something like that, and then because we know Cujo's killing people in the movie, but then in Child's Play, those scenes were just funny scenes to me, and I did enjoy that. The one thing I really enjoyed, I'm not gonna lie, was the Ecto-1 scenes. That was like a muscle car, and I enjoyed the fact
so cool.
I was like, oh my goodness, that was coon ready. That was coon-tastic. That was such a those were great scenes. And I was looking at it like, oh yes, this is what a Ghostbusters movie should have been. Not say have what 1984,
What 2016 should have been.
2016 should have been, but really for just having that raw power of Ecto-1 and just having those scenes. Like even when watching the 84 version, when they did, the Ecto-1 scenes, it was kind of like blips. But this one, they really focused on that. And
this was, I think, the first time we've ever seen the Ecto-1 in a action sequence.
Yeah.
It's the actual set
usually,
piece. Like before, it's just in Ghostbusters 84. It's like a
set piece. Yeah,
it's a car. It's their car.
Yeah,
it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it shows up and it's like, oh, it's the Ghostbusters. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But this is one of the first scenes that was like a actual full on action scenes, multiple action scenes with the Ecto-1. I thought I was really impressed by that. Now, out of all the parts of the movie, I was blown away by that, and I really.
It was
enjoyed
badass.
It was so.
It was
badass.
basically like a mobile command center as well.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. It didn't just transport people. You had like gears and gadgets and all this crazy shit in it.
Yeah.
What was one of the most? One of the most scary scenes in all the movie was looking at a clean, empty Walmart. That was actually terrifying for me. I've never seen a clean, empty Walmart.
That was terrifying for you?
Yes, it was terrifying.
Oh.
It was so.
Yeah,
clean.
no, it was very eerie.
Products?
Wait, what?
Of people or of products?
There were no people there. It was just an empty, clean Walmart. It almost looked like Myers. I was scared. That was terrifying.
Yeah, I remember they're in the middle of the boonies.
Yeah.
Someone who's lived in the boonies. I mean, that's how Walmarts literally are. Walmarts are just empty. I'm
going to just assume that Walmart grand opened hours before that scene. That's all we could assume.
That's all.
It was perfect.
It was immaculate until
it was very good.
The hounds, that one hound messed up that story. It's just this movie. I mean, now how do you guys feel about the two post credit scenes?
It's funny. It's funny because the mid credit scene, they do the typical mid credits cast roll, and then it got to Sigourney Weaver, and I was like, I think I said, huh? Like I was like, who's Sigourney Weaver in the movie? It cuts to Sigourney Weaver. So I was like, oh, perfect. Okay. I questioned it. And she popped up.
Were they married in that scene? Did you see a wedding ring or anything?
I don't know. It's very odd because in Ghostbusters 2, they are not together.
Yeah. But it seems like they are together now. I was thinking that as well. Or I was like, okay, maybe I thought they were just doing this for, shits and giggles. Like, hey, nostalgia. But it seems like it possibly... There's three things. The three things... There's pretty much three small little tidbits. The first one, I don't know if you guys noticed it, was the Ecto-1 driving on, like, the Brooklyn Bridge. That was one. Yeah. That was like, okay, so obviously they're going back to New York, which is awesome. I'm thinking that's cool. The Sigourney Weaver, and then the last one was with, what's his name?
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson.
Yes.
Having that long speech about going back to the original firehouse, and then talking about this is the whole purpose of this. I think
that Ecto-1 scene on the bridge is that is a very similar scene to it's either Ghostbusters 1 or 2 where Ecto-1 has a police escort. In that scene, Ecto-1 has a police escort. So it seems like that scene it says for Harold. The movie's dedicated to Harold Ramis, and then pans over to New York City. and I don't know if they're referencing the Ghostbusters of the past because they're like, or they're referencing the future where the series is headed, and I think that's what you're about to talk about.
I think it's about the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
So-
seems like it's the future.
I don't know who this is. We have a person chatting. Someone says, "Sweet Jesus is like the evolution of beards."
It is true.
Who's the final form though? Is it me or?
I think you're the final form.
You're probably
thank
the
you.
final
Yeah.
form.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
only been a
She's
day since I
gonna-
shaved.
Yeah, I was like, you've been growing
Grow it
beards.
more into.
You've been growing beards since you were like 8. So, I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
you've had an unfair advantage. It's crazy. Like with Ghostbusters, I really hope that they do make a sequel to this. This is because this is a direct spinoff of Ghostbusters 1, right?
1
So-
and 2.
Is this?
Yeah,
Do they say
I don't know.
Ghostbusters 2?
I don't know
It's
if
technically
2 is
3.
canon.
Yeah, I don't think 2 is canon for them. I think this is Ghostbusters.
I don't know.
I think
But
this is
you know
after
what?
the first one.
It
I
could
would
be
say-
either or, right?
It could be.
It
either.
could be. It could or couldn't be because 2 is irrelevant. It's 2 is a remake of the first one almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It counts,
Yeah,
though, doesn't it?
Eh,
I would
sure,
think so.
if you
Yeah.
want.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, I don't really think it even matters if it's.
It doesn't
1 or
matter.
It doesn't
2.
matter.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's so much time that's passed. I mean, you've gone through now. You're on your 3rd generation.
What you drop in?
I don't know what it is.
I hit my microphone.
But
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I mean, it really doesn't matter at this point. But I really hope that they do continue on with this. I believe that it'll continue to get better over time. The kids are going to continue to get older, which then you can explore more of them growing up with this. The one thing I kind of hated, one thing that kind of irritated me was how comfortable Phoebe was with ghosts. Like, if I'm not gonna lie, because they talked about in the movie that ghosts haven't existed since 84. Like, the Ghostbusters themselves have pretty much eradicated a lot of the ghost occurrences during this time. But then with 2021, I'm Phoebe. I'm talking about, hey, I'm doing my thing. What's the similarity between a hamster and a cigarette or something like that? They both are. You both don't want them in your mouth when you light them up or something like that. Which I thought was hilarious. That's such a dark joke. That's a really dark joke for a kid.
There was another
dark
really
joke,
dark
yeah.
joke she makes, and I was like, God, I forgot what it was. It's not the hamster one, but
Was it the one when they were going down the temple?
Oh no, dead polar bear.
That
It was
was
a
the
dead
hamster.
polar bear joke.
Oh,
It doesn't
polar bear.
matter because it's dead. Like,
Doesn't matter because
Yeah.
it's dead. I was like, damn.
That's a dark ass joke. Like, she's on
Yeah.
some dark
Well-
ass shit. She's been on 4chan way too much. But
She has been. She's a troll.
yeah, obviously a troll. but when
She's from Kekistan.
Yeah, she's from weird ass place. I'm just gonna ignore that one. But
She explains it though.
Yeah, fuck off. You made me. lose my-
She does explain her
She
emotional.
explains it because at one point, podcast asks her, and she said, "Oh, inside I'm basically in turmoil or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah,
outside, I express it very calmly."
Yeah,
But
And
she's
then another
also
scene.
when like the supernatural things are happening, where I would, as I think all of us naturally as a kid, if like chess pieces are moving on their own, we'd all be freaking out, running to mom at that point.
Yeah.
But she, I think, is more curious and testing the limits of the like what's happening around her. She's moving the chess pieces. She's following the clues. Where I think all of us would have said hell no, and have probably been two counties over by that time.
yeah.
Yeah. So she's
Like
curious.
Egon, but she's like Egon. Egon wasn't in the
Egon,
movie.
yeah.
Egon really wasn't that scared of ghosts at all. He was very curious about them. But I'm just hoping that with Ghostbusters now, with them now obviously teasing to the second part or to a sequel, that they actually kind of expand the mythos a little bit more. I don't want to just. It was cool being outside the environment of New York City. I want them to kind of expand like Ghostbusters coming more a little bit, getting a little bit more out there, I guess. Not just being in New York City all the time, not just being back to Oklahoma. I want them to actually do something a little bit more bigger, a little bit bolder. I feel like it can happen.
Ghostbusters in Southside Chicago.
It's outside Chicago.
Shit, this gangbanger ghost.
he's literally shooting ectoplasm at us. Like,
One thing that kind of not bothered me, but I just couldn't quite understand. You know how everyone knew what happened in New York City back in the 1984 in the 1989. Why didn't they, like say, hey, ghosts are real? These things actually happen. There's video proof. There's written proof. Things happen in New York.
Because people thought it was a hoax because it happened
People
so
in-
long ago
people
and it
in-
never happened again.
People in the 1984 Ghostbusters were literally accusing the Ghostbusters of pulling off a hoax.
Yeah.
Remember the scene in the mayor's office where it's like, so like
Wait,
it's.
you talking about the 2016 one, or
I'm talking about the remake.
The
Okay,
second
that
one.
was
Or
just
no,
copy
talking about the
and paste.
original.
Ghostbusters
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, when he's
Okay.
talking to the guy, and the guy's like, the mayor's like, they're like, hey, we need help, and Mr. Mayor, the world could be in danger. He's like, okay, I believe you. And then that one guy's like, are you serious? The guy that let all the ghosts loose in the first place.
Yeah,
EPA guy.
EPA guy, right? And also, I believe they explained it also in the movie that there are certain dates and times that in the tempo. Remember, they were showing the years.
Yeah.
So stuff occurs, like supernatural stuff occurs around that time. So 84, it was a hot spot, and then it probably just died out, and it's kind of rising up again.
2021.
2021, and so like that's how it flows.
They did have
They
numbers
did have numbers, which are coincidentally these sequels.
Yeah, right. That'd be kind of cool. If that
Oh,
does happen.
wow. Yeah.
Nah, they weren't. They weren't.
Yeah, they
Did
didn't
you
show any
guys-
dates after 20. They just showed 20. But they didn't show. I don't think they showed.
I was
any
looking,
after.
and it looked like it was like, it takes like 100-year leap. I felt like.
Okay.
So I don't think they were that blatant.
Yeah.
Do you think this movie would have still been good without the nostalgia references to it?
If this was a standalone movie,
Hard to say because it's built on the nostalgia.
It is
I
built
can't
on the nostalgia.
judge this movie on its own. Like there is parts of this movie that are good on its own, but it's built on a foundation of that nostalgia. And many people have said this. I'm not the first one to say it. Stranger Things. It's Stranger Things. Stranger Things already did all this,
It is.
and this is like an official version of it.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
I
what-
think it would have.
what was that? I've never heard that. What do you mean? Stranger Things has done this already.
Like the 80s nostalgia, the Amblin type of movie, television show.
Oh, okay.
Like that feel. Like this is a very Amblin type feel. Synthesized music, 80s references, kids, the Goonies, all this like references to things that are sure things that are good. Stranger Things kind of compiled them all together and presented it, and we all loved it. And this is kind of the movie version of what they were doing, referencing. We're literally getting the official licensed version of.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Now, would the sequels to this be good? I have no idea because I don't know how you can make sequels to this good. I'm not sure. This movie's so dependent on the nostalgia from the first movie. I have no idea if this can stand up on its own because you're going to go to, like I said, I keep bringing up The Force Awakens. It's because this movie did the exact same thing and they were left with the same problem after The Force Awakens. What do we do now? And then they legitimately had an issue where, in that case, Ryan Johnson came in and said, all right, well, we have to do something different, very different. And they did something very different. And that, had the issues that it did. So I don't know what they could possibly do. They go two different directions. One is they go in a way that pisses a lot of people off, but it's a bold, different direction, subverts expectations. Maybe Ryan Johnson is available, or they rehash the same damn thing again, and it's boring. I don't know.
They have established they have established characters now with the first one.
Sure.
So I think they can just take that and I would say do something new with a sequel because you have characters. Wait, what?
Kill some kids off.
I'm not saying don't.
Well, how new would you want them to go at Underground?
If they killed someone off, a kid, I think that would not be a bad idea.
Wow,
They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. But I think that will be
But you think that's
different.
the direction to go?
No, I'm not saying that's the only direction to go.
You want to kill kids?
Kill kids. He's one
No,
of
I'm-
those.
He
God,
basically
What I'm saying is you have
murder
established
children.
characters now. You
he
can
wants
take that.
Berserk basically.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what he wants.
Wow,
Atsu?
His berserk come to real life.
no.
That's pretty
What
dope.
I'm saying
Ed,
is,
but what
you
my
know-
point is, we're getting back into the like you're falling into my trap here of Ryan Johnson did this and said the exact same thing you just said in a boardroom, pointing at Kathleen Kennedy and saying, "We got to do something different."
No.
Yeah,
They messed
yeah,
up
buddy.
completely.
Yeah.
I loathe The Force Awakens. But anyways,
Force Awakens is not terrible, but
Yeah, it really
anyways,
isn't.
are we done with
I don't
Ghostbusters?
know.
Because I want
I
to.
like
There's
The Force
something I
Awakens.
do want to talk about.
We
we
can be done with
Sidestep
Ghostbusters.
on this, and I put it. It relates to everything we just talked about.
Okay, but before we end Ghostbusters,
Oh, go ahead.
let's talk about this really quick.
Mhm.
What would you rate it? Out of
Oh.
10.
Out of well,
10.
what are we doing out of how many?
Our scale is
10.
either 10 or 5. Do we have a consistent
No,
scale?
consistently we've been doing 10.
10
Oh,
blurries.
10.
doing 10.
Okay.
No,
One
no,
out of
no, no,
10.
no, no, no. What you just say, Darkside?
10 blurrios.
Okay, so just add 10. Okay, great. So
out of 10 blurries.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
10 blurries. Out of 10
10
blurries, how do we
Sure.
give it? What do we give it? How many blurs do you give it?
You go first. How about that?
I'll give it a 7 out of 10 blurries, baby.
Good.
I'll give it an light 8 blurries.
Ooh.
I will also give it 8 blurries.
I would give it a 7.
7
All
blurries.
right.
Really?
So I think we're pretty close.
Yeah, we're pretty.
Man,
we're
we
pretty
need
spot on.
to start having some disagreements.
But the thing is, the movie. If the movie is good, it's good. It's like with Dune. I think I gave Dune an 8 or a 9, and I'm like, it's a good movie. What movie
I
have I
give
seen?
it a 10 right now.
Like I recently saw Shang-Chi, right? I would give that 6.5.
I would give that like a 7.
Yeah, I'll give like that. I'll give it a solid 6. It was good, but it wasn't great. But
I have no idea what I give it.
Like I don't know. Like if it's a good movie, it's a good movie. I'm gonna be true to what it is.
I would give it 7 communist stars.
Okay, Darkseid. What are we gonna talk about?
All right, the hot button issues. Okay,
hot button,
here we
yes.
go.
All right,
We're talking about
Gary.
communism.
No. I was going to talk about different kind of hot button issue.
Don't tell
I was
me
just talking
He-Man.
about. No.
Okay.
We got to talk about that too. But
Part 2 is out.
About what?
is it
He-Man.
coming out Tuesday?
It's out already, I think.
Oh
What's
shoot!
Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
He-Man Part 2.
E-Man Part 2.
Oh.
I think it's
Yeah.
already out.
So Ed Underground, I don't know why you haven't watched the other ones yet. We've been talking about it for 25 episodes. I don't know what that was, 10 episodes then.
I got better things to do.
Because he's not.
Well, you got to watch it for the damn podcast. So I mean,
I've been watching other things for the podcast. Come on.
well, this is what you're gonna have to watch for the podcast. So just
Okay.
prepare yourself. Anyways,
My
what I'm
body is
talking
ready.
about is, speaking of Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy said that the
okay.
sequel trilogy characters will not be forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get your take on that.
What does that mean?
What does that
I heard that, but
statement?
I don't even know what that means.
That-
Interesting statement. Interesting way for her to say that.
I think I know exactly what that means.
Yeah. What do you
think-
think is the current state of things over there? Go ahead, Creamcast.
I think that what she, just like with Luke appeared, right? At the end of The Mandalorian. And they messed up his CGI horribly, his face molding. But I think that what they certain movies won't step on the territory of bringing dead actors, old actors back to life with facial CGI and so forth. My probably understanding is like, because you think about like Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, they've said repeatedly, Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, T'Challa will not come back in any Marvel movie ever again. They won't CGI him. T'Challa, the character, won't come back. Black Panther, in that capacity, will never come back again. Marvel has taken a stance they will not do that. But that's Marvel, though, not Disney. Disney,
I don't think-
Star Wars. I would not be surprised if we continue to see Carrie Fisher. I'm thinking that we won't.
I don't think
see,
that's
like,
what that statement meant, though.
Yeah.
I think
You don't think
that
it was what it means?
sta-
Okay.
No, that
No.
statement is aimed at the sequel trilogy
Rey.
characters, the Ray and Finn,
And,
will not be
yeah.
forgotten.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm sorry.
that
Yes.
statement, the way
You're
she-
right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. I was thinking something else. I was thinking about another statement. You're right. That means that I think Rey and all those other characters, they will obviously come back for sure. They're gonna be more movies.
Do you think? I'm thinking Disney Plus shows is how they're gonna reintroduce some of
Maybe
them.
because the guy
Reintroduce.
who plays Finn, I forgot his name.
John Boyega.
John Boyega.
Yeah, I
John
don't
Boyega.
think he wants to play Finn ever again. He
Not
said so.
him, and no, he's like
But
Finn
he's
is
one of the
probably the
characters.
most. Yeah, but he was one of the lamest characters. He had nothing.
He was
had-
pretty lame.
It's
yeah.
not his fault, but his
Great
character
actor.
useless.
Bad part.
But I mean, who
Yeah.
else
Really?
do they have? Who else do they have? They just
You
have
got
Ray.
Poe Dameron,
Ray,
and you got
Poe.
Ray.
You think I forgot his name? Who played Ben Solo?
Who's some of the new
whatever.
characters? No, he's dead.
Oh,
Spoiler.
Adam
Yeah.
Driver.
I think it's Ray. Ray is probably the main character,
focus.
the main focus. If they did a Disney Plus series, they could. And you know what? That would probably be very good for her character because I think her character got shafted, just like all the other characters, with that terrible, rushed progression, no
Rush,
character
yes.
development,
Yes.
no time for these characters to grow at all. They just kind of threw them out into movies, and you're like, how the hell
And,
is you know,
and that's why I
yeah.
don't like the sequels.
Ed, you watch
right? Well, the
Ed,
sequels
you
aren't good for the
reference-
writing.
Ed,
Yeah.
you referenced Dragon Ball Z. Like, I don't understand how you can hate on bad character progression, but you're the same person talking about.
Oh, come
you
on,
know,
that's different. You know that's different. You know that's different. You know that's different.
The same.
Well, how's that different?
The
And
same.
Underground?
The same
Yeah, how?
character. The same
Goku
character
is a character that you have
who
grown
always-
to love.
Who always wins
Who had
every
character
single battle. Every single battle, he pretty much wins. He either wins it by powering up someone else, or he's powered up himself.
He's died
You
before, he's come back.
criticize Ray for becoming too powerful. There's literally episodes of Dragon Ball Z where Goku's like, I gotta get real powerful, and he goes into this stupid chamber, and they
Hyperbolic
write
time
it off.
chamber.
It's some stupid writing like, fuck you.
Yeah,
They're writing
one-
off like,
ask you this.
1 year
Goku-
training in the day.
Let me
we gotta
ask
get
you
him real
this.
strong, real fast. So
Let me
we're all
ask you
shitty
this.
writers. What do
How
we do? We put him
how
in
many
this chamber.
How many times has Rey Palpatine or Skywalker? How many times has she died? How many times has she gone through a training exercise
I don't know.
to get stronger or whatever? Not just hand it to her on a silver platter. Like, here you go, powers. You could also be a Skywalker now
Ed,
too.
you think that
Same
Goku
amount of
doesn't have-
times as Luke Skywalker.
Luke
Ooh.
trained.
Ooh, got him.
Luke trained.
So
Luke
did she.
trained.
So did she.
did train.
Luke taught
Where?
her.
Minutes.
Where?
Yeah.
Who taught her?
Well, what do you
What
think?
was the scene?
Do you think
What was the
Yoda
scene?
taught Luke for longer?
Yeah.
Yoda taught Luke better.
You know, the funny
Yeah.
thing is,
Was there a
Nah,
scene
it's
where
believable.
they
It's
showed
funny.
Ray being trained?
Wait,
He
what?
does show.
Wait, say it
Where?
again. Wait, no, wait. What did you say?
he said, "Is there a scene that shows Rey being trained?"
Like in the first movie.
In the first movie, no,
this-
because she doesn't really do
Second?
training till.
Yeah,
She doesn't do
exactly.
training,
No
Second movie.
training.
and yet
No,
she
it's that
can
he's a
pilot
lightsaber.
everything.
Notice that he used the what?
She can pilot ships just very well.
She's a
she
she's like
go-
a savant.
Didn't she go?
She can fix ships. She can pilot
Mhm.
ships.
Yeah.
She's an amazing junk trader, whatever
Mhm.
she is at the beginning of the movie. I
Yeah.
thought you were going to bring up the fact that she has a lightsaber duel at the end of the first
Oh, I
movie.
did,
without
I
it.
did.
Fight of the
I did.
lightsaber.
No,
with
you
someone
didn't.
that's
No, I
Well,
did.
she-
been
I see
trained his whole
lightsaber.
life.
But the thing
Look
is,
back
in
at
the Rise of Skywalker, she trains. So I mean, boom, that's
Yeah, the
training.
Rise of Skywalker.
No,
She-
no, we're
I'm
I'm talking about
about
the first
one.
movie.
Oh, the first one?
movie.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
He fights Ben Solo.
Because they showed
who
Luke
has
training at least a little
training.
bit.
Yeah, but
He did.
you guys are acting like you guys
He
sat
got
there.
his ass whooped by Darth Vader.
You guys are acting like
Yeah,
you
he did.
sat there
He was
in
not
real time, and
In-
you had to
in
wait
Empire-
years for him to
in
get
Empire
strong.
Strikes Back. He
Yeah.
goes to fight Darth Vader, and Yoda
loses a hand.
specifically tells him, "You are not ready."
Yes.
He goes
Yeah.
and fights him anyway.
And gets
Yes.
his
Ray
ass
does
whooped.
the same shit. Just
Yeah.
nobody was there to tell her, "You're not ready. You
Ray
got all
who
the
had-
talent."
Ray, who had
Uh-huh.
no lightsaber training, nothing, fights Ben Solo,
Exactly.
who
Mhm.
had training for who knows how long, who's been on the
Yeah.
dark side of the Force, a Sith, for who knows how long, knows how to use
Yeah.
the Force, knows how to pull people using the Force, choke them
Mhm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Scars up
And
right-
what
scars
better
up,
setting
scars
for
up.
a lightsaber fight just in the snow, full of snowflakes, just like Darkseid. Just over there, fucking Captain Save a Hole for everything. I'm just running out of that.
He's just let it rain, let that snow fall. I mean,
Ben
jeez.
Solo should have. He had the ability, the training. Ray, when they first fought, nothing.
It's funny. It doesn't see that.
Well, you know what?
You're laying
Also,
a trap card.
No, I
To
will stand
defend-
by this. Star Wars is full of all these amateur people. Luke is a fucking farmer on a middle of nowhere. Anakin is a slave. None of these people have like years of training. They just like fall ass backwards. The implication is that some people have talent, some people don't. Is the implication there? And it comes from George Lucas.
Name one person in all of Star Wars that has force abilities, chosen one or not, whatever, but zero training, able to do what Ray did.
Ray. And also Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, who's her?
God.
Hold on.
Yeah,
But to be
Ray.
fair, when Ray was fighting, what's his name? Adam Driver.
Yes, Ben Solo.
What's the character's name? Ben Solo.
Ben, so what's his like name?
As a Sith, I forgot his name.
I forgot.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you. When Ray was fighting Kylo Ren, that wasn't Kylo Ren at his full health. Wasn't
he was
like,
injured.
bleeding out?
Yeah, he was injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
So he was
giant cut.
severely injured. which
And also
injured
he's
actually. So that
also-
explains.
Who injured him?
Also,
Who injured him?
wasn't it Chewbacca?
Wasn't it Ray?
I think it wasn't Ray. No,
No, he was
Ray
injured before.
Ray scarred him up.
no, he was injured before
He was
faced
injured
up with
before because he starts that fight injured.
Ray. Yeah, he does.
How does he get injured? I think
I think
Chewbacca
Ray.
shoots.
Ray scarred him up.
No,
Ray scarred
No,
his
no.
face.
Ray does.
she scars him
Scar
up,
up.
but
Zero
he went into the fight
training.
Do you,
injured.
Ed, do you remember him like doing this thing where he hits himself, like he's hitting the wound before the fight, like he's trying to like.
Like
It's a
pump
real
himself
weird
up?
scene. Yeah, but that's not with Ray. That's with John Boyega, I think. So he's hurt before that. Also, it doesn't matter because even if he's not wounded, the point with Adam Driver's character was that he's not in control. He could be trained for years. He could be trained out of the womb. He is not in control of his emotions. He's prone to emotional lapses. He says you got too much Vader in you or whatever, like Luke said. He does not have the control, and that's why she could probably take him in that scene.
What?
He does not. I mean, she does. I mean, dude, you saw the movie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
read-
the
did you watch
explanation.
So
same movie?
he had the two things going against him: the emotional emotional stability, and the
Emotional
fact that he was
instability.
injured.
Well, you saw what
So
Darth
she
Vader-
wasn't facing someone that was what?
Yeah.
You saw what Anakin. Well, you saw what Darth Vader before he got cut up by Obi-Wan. You saw what Darth Vader did to his own wife, Padme, right?
Mm-hmm.
One simple Force joke.
Sure.
That was all out of emotion.
right?
Right.
But you saw that same scene only a few minutes afterwards where Obi-Wan takes the high ground. Very common sense, years of Jedi
Against
training would tell Anakin in his mind, dude has the high ground. Don't
You cannot
attack him.
beat
That
And
was
he-
out of emotion, right?
Yeah.
His emotions. Yeah.
Against
he-
Against
the high
someone
ground.
who has, against someone who some would say is one of the best Jedi's
Sure.
ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Now
Yes.
you take those same emotions
Yes.
with the Force
Yeah.
against someone who has zero training, who's
right.
never ever picked up a lightsaber ever before in her life.
Yeah. But has the potential
Doesn't
to be
even know what
a
the Force
really,
is.
Sure, but has the potential to be a really
Come on.
high level,
Come on.
well, which we see in the movie. She does
Come on.
become that. Which we,
Come
we see in
on.
the what? Come on, what? I mean, am I wrong? Like she does become that character,
Are we
right?
still, are we
Am I
still talking
wrong?
about, are we still talking about Ghostbusters?
Talking about Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
I'm just letting them go.
yeah. 'Cause I'm just zoning out. So,
Yeah, you can zone
I
out.
can see
Just
both
click
sides.
off here.
I
But
can
what
see,
I'm
yeah.
what I'm saying
see
is
If
that
Anakin-
Adam
if
Driver's
Anakin's-
character is he's emotionally unstable, which they clearly show that he's
Yes.
not in control. He
Yes.
does not focus. That tells you right there that that's how she could beat him.
What? That tells you right there how Ben whatever
Because he
Kylo can
can't-
beat.
Kylo
I
Ren.
don't
Can't
think you understand
find
like what they.
proficiently
Yeah, I don't
if
know.
he doesn't have if he is doesn't have his shit in order.
Yeah, you
could be the most trained person in the world, but if you're not, if you don't know, like, if you can't control your abilities or
or okay, just an example, a samurai. Let's say you have a samurai that's been trained forever, and there's another samurai that's calm and collected, but the one that can't control his emotions, they're swinging like a wild beast. There's a good chance that the one that's in control and assessing the situation will be able to beat the one that's just swinging away, even though if he's been trained forever.
But you're using two people who are trained. Ray was never trained. That's what I'm saying.
Take the same example he just said. He said calm and collected versus irrational and emotional. The irrational emotion person has the training, but they've lost it in the moment to irrational, emotional, like just energy.
And
lack of focus.
Perfect thing.
But we see what happens. They're still, if anything, they're more powerful in that moment because Sith.
It's not power. It's not power. No. Sword fighting is not about power. I mean, or like the Force isn't about power.
Even fighting, a lot of times it's not about power. It's about knowing what to do when and having a strength.
Name one.
The power level. It doesn't matter with sword fighting. He has a sword of truth. He has a sword of truth.
Name one Sith user that has been cool, calm, and collective. It has never.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, he's got you there.
There's been many times.
Darth Maul.
Darth Vader's pretty calm and collected.
Darth Vader is the most common.
Not Anakin. Vader.
Vader.
Talk about Vader
super.
Post.
Talk about Darth Vader, not Anakin Skywalker.
Full suit Darth Vader, not not Anakin.
Yeah.
Well, if anything,
also the Emperor. I don't know the Emperor. I never seen him. He's pretty calm and collected.
I've seen him go berserk.
You saw the Emperor lose control of a situation.
Well, against Yoda, but not lose control, but like he just goes buck wild.
He wins that fight.
No, he doesn't. He never went buck wild and lost his emotions.
Yeah,
his style looks like he loses emotion.
He never got.
Just watching the fights in the original one, you can see how calm and collected Vader is.
Yeah,
Vader is for sure calm and collected.
I think Vader is more hindered because of his suit. He can't like do what he did before.
I would say majority of the Sith are pretty calm and collected. Like they're not going crazy. Darth Maul,
crazy ones die.
Yeah, Darth Maul. Darth Maul wasn't a crazy, super angry, like losing his temper 24/7. He was vicious.
He gets cocky and loses focus towards the end. That's when he dies.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Well, I mean, he's saying calm and when you're talking about calm and collected. I mean, it's like your wife dies, right?
Oh,
like
freaking!
Then you're like, oh my god,
Count Dooku. He's very calm and collected.
Dooku was considered.
Count Dookie, baby.
Dooku was considered still a Jedi, though, didn't he? Wasn't.
No. Darth Tyrannus. This is his name, Dooku. By the way.
Jedi Tyrannus.
Jedi Tyrannus, yeah.
Yeah. Jedi genocide.
It just runs. Yeah. It just rolls off the tongue.
Ed is the one guy in the Clone Wars. He's like, no, he's a good guy,
Let him in.
Darth Tyrannus did a few good things, like boom. Yeah, come on. They're trying to frame him.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is Kylo Ren.
He's the one supporter in the Senate.
All I'm saying is the sequels sucked, and this announcement that they won't be forgotten. I was.
Well, that's how we got here.
The majority of fans hate that statement, that announcement, and being as Kathleen Kennedy
for all fans.
Yeah, the reason
I would say I speak for the majority. I would say that.
The reason I brought that up was the statement she made. She's in charge of Star Wars. The way she said it, they will not be forgotten. Definitely, it feels like she's on the defensive. It's a defensive statement.
Well, people have looked past. So like, all right, Jedi or the Skywalker series is done. Rey is done. John Bodega is done. I can't say his name correctly, so I just call him John Bodega.
It'd be great if he opens bodegas.
And just opens bodegas, yeah. I mean, granted, what movies has he been in recently that you're just like, wow, that's amazing. Last notable movie I seen him in was in Pacific Rim Rising or whatever.
Attack the Block was really good.
Huh?
I think the Block was before though.
Yeah.
That was
I'm talking about-
before.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying,
talking
yeah, I can't think of any recent
Anything
ones.
after?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, no, I would
recent.
agree. I don't know.
But I think he's
recently
been.
what he's done.
I think recently. I think honestly he's been blackballed out of Hollywood. For the
Yeah, I
time
think
being.
Star Wars kind of
What
messed
did he
him
do?
up. No, I just think Star Wars
Because he
kind of messed
spoke.
him
I
up
think
mentally.
because he spoke out
He
against.
spoke out about like about black characters and
Yeah.
like how Disney, didn't
Disney and
give-
China.
didn't get Disney and
Disney-
China. They
Which he
Oh,
was
oh,
right about.
Careful now.
He was right about that.
Careful now. We have
No,
certain business ties we do not want to ruffle.
yeah, but no,
We do?
he was
Yeah,
talking about how
certain
Disney
blurred
was not
merchandise.
Disney didn't want to. They minimized his poster, how they treated black people,
'Cause
and
that's
so
what,
forth.
unfortunately, that's what
That's what happened.
people in China don't want.
But I think.
But
sad
the
and
the
it's
reason
bad,
why he
but-
was doing that is because, like, you can't, as a company, say, "Oh, we support Black History Month" and all this other stuff, and then, on the other hand, you shrink a supporting cast member to the point where you can't even see them. But in the American posters, he's fully.
They didn't do
They
that.
just-
They didn't do that in Eternals. They didn't do
Eternals,
that.
I was gonna say.
Eternals.
Yeah, they didn't do that in Eternals.
I haven't seen the Eternals.
Well, I mean,
Posters
that's
or
any
whatever.
major.
It's not
corporation.
poster.
They'll just say whatever will keep them.
Well,
safe
I mean,
from
it's
lawsuits.
the same thing with Black Panther. The American posters of Black Panther, you can see the actor's face, but with his costume on. But in the Chinese posters, his full-blown costume with the mask on. It's night and day. It's like, okay,
Well, I think
Really?
I
Man,
don't
those
think the Chinese
audiences must have been
people-
disappointed.
Yeah, they must have thought like, man, Black Panther. They're ready to see Tom Cruise in full.
They
in
walked
full-
out as soon as they saw.
They
Chadwick
walked
Boseman.
out. Yeah, the
Like,
first
"That's
5
it.
minutes,
I'm
I'm like,
done."
what is this?
This is bullshit. Black people, black people. This is just disgusting. I mean,
Another thing they did, they never.
Or they do like a hard
acknowledged,
edit where they just remove all the scenes where Chadwick Boseman shows his face, and they only leave the ones where Black Panther's in full outfit.
Yeah, I'm sure they were very confused when they were
The
watching that
still
movie.
image of Ryan Reynolds' head
Yeah.
just moving around with every like. He's like
His
Chadwick
mouth doesn't
Boseman
even
fully
move.
performing. Yeah, it's,
I like I said, they were probably very disappointed with the story.
Mhm.
But I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean,
We'll see. Yeah.
Disney did a great thing. Like I think when we watched for everybody that did watch it, somebody on this panel did not watch all the episodes, but for those who did watch it, I think we did say that the Disney Star Wars, what was it called? Not What If.
the
Tales, what
Visions?
that was called?
Visions, yeah. I think for us that watched all of them, we did say they were very good. And hopefully Disney will, continue to mature Star Wars for this newer generation where it could be something good. I mean, I honestly think I'm still willing to give Star Wars a chance. I know Ed is completely over Star Wars at the moment, but
Well, no.
you're
I'm
over
not-
you're over Ray. Let's say.
Oh, beyond. My honest opinion, I think they should just get someone else instead of Kathleen Kennedy. There's been, in my
It ain't
opinion,
gonna
nothing.
Yeah.
It's not, but I can't think of one good thing that has happened through the reigns of Kathleen Kennedy.
All I'm saying is this: if you
Rogue
could write-
One. I like Rogue One.
If you could write a better Star Wars series, you should do that. Until then,
Mandalorian.
shut the hell up.
Is that
Mandalorian.
under Farega, whatever his name is?
No, Kathleen Kennedy still runs the whole show.
She didn't write or direct.
She didn't write direct any of them.
Yeah.
No, it was someone
She's
else.
the Kevin
I gotta say.
Feige. She's the Kevin Feige
She's
of Star
not.
Wars.
She doesn't write or direct anything. That's not her job.
She's the Kevin Feige of Star Wars.
But
Yeah,
didn't
she's the
didn't
Kevin
she also
Feige.
get mad that the Mandalorian, especially the end with Luke Skywalker, got more publicity than the new Star Wars prequel novels?
I have no idea. I don't work
I
at Star
don't know.
Wars.
Well,
like,
no,
I mean,
I-
I know you intimately work in the boardroom, so you
Yes, all the
But,
time.
And it's- yeah.
why are you comparing two different mediums?
Because it came out exactly the same time, and the fans were praising the whole Luke Skywalker scene,
know.
and they were downing the new novels.
They were
Were
downing.
people actually
What does
praising
that
the new
mean?
scene?
Downs.
Yeah, not like crazy,
The
not
downs.
like that, but they're like, I mean, you could go on YouTube and there's like videos of people like actually crying over the whole Luke Skywalker scene.
Yeah, they showed up because he's
cry over everything.
He's saying tears of joy. Like people are very happy about it. But the thing is, because he's a nostalgic character, no one. That's why people are. There
wouldn't be Star Wars without Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I get that. No, what I'm saying is that when he was introduced towards the end, or at the end of The Mandalorian, people were more like talking about that and how they were saying this is good, but this new novel that they completely just got from their butt.
What novel? What are you talking about? I'm sorry, I'm out of this.
I forgot what it's called. The Lights of the Old. Not. I forgot what it's called.
Look,
why are we talking about a novel?
It's thousands of years before the.
And Kathleen Kennedy wrote a novel.
Kathleen Kennedy is behind this project.
I think she's behind all creative.
She's behind the whole damn Star Wars universe. Do you not understand her job?
Yes, but she's very handy with this project. I forgot what it's called. I'll say this.
Yeah, what's your point? Yeah, I'm confused.
I'll say this. There is a character. There's a character in this novel that he is a rock. I'm not kidding. He is a rock and does nothing. I'm not talking about the rock, Rocky Maivia. I'm talking about just a simple rock and does nothing, and then got laughed at.
So? Is it a sentient rock?
No, it's just a rock.
Eh?
It's a character. It's just a rock, a normal everyday rock. It got laughed at.
I mean, out of context, we can't really comment on that. I didn't read the novel.
It's been out.
Star Wars probably has like hundreds of novels.
This is not a new novel.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because this is slightly going left. I don't know why. You're making an assumption about something. You didn't read it. Have you read this novel?
I have not read it. I have.
You've read other people's reviews on it.
Yeah. No, not reviews. I have looked.
You said earlier that people don't like it.
So not even reviews.
No, I've looked at. You know how some people put comic books online on YouTube.
Sure.
So it's the same thing with novels. So I looked at some of it on YouTube.
Oh,
so
like
one
audiobook? You listen to like an audiobook?
No.
Audio, visual.
No, it's like a condensed breakdown.
Like Comic Story
or something.
Like Comic Story and how he'll take actual comic scenes from the comic book and voice over it.
Yeah, but you're listening. You're listening to a condensed, out of context thing. You could listen. You can do anything, and something wouldn't make sense if you did it that way. You can't criticize it without actually having read the final product in some way.
Yeah.
From what I've read or seen, it's pretty garbage.
All of Dragon Ball Z is garbage to me. I can point out Dragon Ball Z and tell you like every 2 scenes is garbage.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I would say the majority of anime fans would say Dragon Ball Z is a great anime, despite its
because they have the context.
But then not even that. What is I'm still missing your point. Is your point based off the fact that people were, from a visual standpoint, let's say majority of Star Wars fans never read these novels, which is probably true. Just like you say, a majority of Batman fans probably have never read majority of Batman comics. They just watch the movies, maybe cartoons and so forth. So you are saying, I'm talking. So you're saying that you are.
Stand your ground.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, so you're talking about a medium where people are like, people are really talking about the Star Wars series. They watched something and they saw Luke Skywalker. People are praising it, but a book, they didn't like one character out of a book, or they didn't like a book. Like
they didn't like the book. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, what I still don't understand the point.
With an S.
They don't like the books.
The series is called Star Wars.
Yeah, but what's your point?
What's your point?
Just please, what's your point?
What is your point?
I know we don't like the book, and they like the Luke thing better, but what's the point?
What was the point?
I don't think you have a point.
How did we get here?
I don't think you have a point. I think you just
brought it up.
No, there's a point. Oh, story-wise, just story is terrible. They're just taking.
But Kathleen Kennedy wrote the book.
We
were talking about Kathleen Kennedy.
He's behind the projects.
No, I know.
Stories.
But why is it? Why you're saying?
But what's the point?
You said one character. People were happy about one character showing up, and then you say, well, people didn't like the books.
So, her team, and I think Kathleen Kennedy herself, were blaming the low sales of Star Wars. What is it called? Star Wars.
Oh, okay. All right.
The
See,
High Republic
it's
is.
you could have just said that instead of going down this damn rabbit hole.
Well, I thought they did.
So they're blaming the
they're
low
blaming
sale numbers
because of
on
Luke's
Luke
return.
Skywalker.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't know how those two things relate.
I mean,
So-
it's a witness.
And I don't know where
Yeah.
you got. Is there a quote that we can see somewhere of her saying that?
I would have to
Or
go
is
back
this
and
just-
actually find this because this all happened around
Well,
the same
she said
time.
it. She
She said
Well,
it.
I can't pull up a video of her like saying, "Oh, I know this happened."
no. Okay,
There's-
she tweeted it.
I mean, you're saying it very matter of factly, my friend. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just
Or
confused.
Yeah.
I'm just
relying
confused
on
on
a
what
third-party source.
I'm just confused
Yeah.
on what he's trying to say because like it seems like he just says like literally this is what I heard. People don't like we're talking about Kathleen Kennedy, right? And you're talking about because we're talking about the fact that Kathleen Kennedy is pretty much the Kevin Feige of Star Wars. She has creative
Whoa.
control. Kevin.
What?
She's the Kevin Feige of Star Wars.
Feige.
yeah,
Yes.
No, that's
Yeah,
her position.
yeah.
He's not saying that they're both.
Oh, wait, hold on.
level.
Ed Underground.
Yes.
What do you think her job is?
I
I think there's a
forgot exactly.
misunderstanding. I don't think you understand what she
Producer?
does.
I forgot exactly what she
I think
does.
Ed thinks she literally is a director of
Well,
every
no.
single.
I think she produces.
Yeah.
I know her past jobs. She has not really done anything. She's always been on the side of someone like who did Indiana Jones?
That's not.
Steven
What is her job?
Spielberg,
but
What's her
she's
job? Where is her job right now? What does she do? You're talking about her
forgot
past.
Exactly. Her past. I forgot exactly what it is.
We're not talking about her
now.
past. No.
We're not
No,
talking
no,
about her
right now.
title.
What-
Don't
what
forget
does she
about her
do?
title. But just tell us what is your understanding of her job?
I forgot exactly what it was or is producer. I believe I'm not.
No,
sure.
no, no.
No,
Forget
but
about
what do
the
you think
title.
She does? What do you think
What
she
is-
does? What is she
yeah, what-
responsible for?
Yes.
Bringing a team together, handpicking people to bring who are creative in stories or whatever, and have them write whatever they want to write out. She's handpicking them.
Okay. All right. I guess that's. I mean, do you understand what Kevin Feige does at Marvel? Do you know who Kevin Feige is?
Yes, Kevin Feige. He's written and direct movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
you
but
know
that's not
anything.
the question.
Yeah,
What is-
What?
Okay, let's move on.
He's
'cause
also
to be
acted.
honest,
Let's move on. I
Let's
don't think
move
you
on.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I
could go on for a
honestly
while.
Just got
Ed-
dumber.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can actually
What?
feel myself
I-
getting
Dude,
dumber.
all I'm saying is
Like,
this:
so
The
the
cre- the
Kathleen
cre-
Kennedy is a producer.
Sure. Sure.
j-
Oh,
think-
I just looked it up now.
Right.
So the creative
Little bit more
direction.
than that, but okay.
All I'm saying is this: is that you are basing the point that I guess I'm not getting in between the two is that you're talking about the appearance, which if you're talking about Kathleen Kennedy being the creative director, creative producer of the entire Star Wars universe right now under Disney, that she should be responsible for the books and for the Luke Skywalker appearance in The Mandalorian. If people are praising that, you have to give Kathleen Kennedy props for that because she would be responsible because that whole series is under her direction. So it's kind of like you're saying it's like you want to shit on Kathleen Kennedy because you're talking about the books are doing bad and she's blaming this whole thing on Luke. That's why I'm still not getting that point, but this is what I'm assuming what you're doing.
Giving her credit for like the Mandalorian.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
you gotta give her credit for Mandalorian. If the books don't do well because there's a rock character that is dumb or whatever, sure, that's one thing. That might be fine. But the thing is, if the books are bad and people hate it, they have to give her credit for the same thing for The Mandalorian being great. Just like you would give Kevin Feige the credit for Avengers Endgame being great, but then for Iron Man 3 being bad, or Iron Man 2 being bad, or Thor the Dark World. I think we're all agreeing that that's the worst. That's the worst one. So
I think like Ed, you're like giving. It's like you brought up with Endgame. It's like you giving the Russo brothers all the credit, but not giving it to Kevin Feige. That's the same thing happening with Kathleen Kennedy and the guy who made Mandalorian, which you're giving credit to. That's great, but all that happened because she is producing that series. and that direction, and green lighting and saying yes and no, and yeah. So that's her position.
Yeah, she's like in the cutting room floor. Like if you hear anything about Kevin Feige, you hear that Kevin Feige wants certain things done with the Marvel universe and certain things he had cut out. And whether those things are good that we did see or the things that we didn't see that could have been great, ultimately Kevin Feige is responsible for it all. And I think that we get into a point where it's just like, yeah, you might not have agreed with the Rise of Skywalker, Rey's storyline, and so forth, but you can't take away. You might not have liked certain things, but the things that you do praise Star Wars for doing well, you have to give her credit for that as well. And that's why I feel like there's just this weird argument that you try to make. Yeah, you're just trying to put all the negative things on her, but anything that's positive, you try to push it onto someone else and be like, oh, well, that was great because Kathleen Kennedy wasn't involved. That was the other person, but she's responsible for that person producing that vision and her greenlighting it. So that's what I'm saying. You're kind of playing both sides, which I find that to be weird. And then with your points that you're making is like you gotta give people credit where it's due. And I feel like Kathleen Kennedy gets a lot of shit unjustly on some things, and then when she does do well, people don't give her praise.
Yeah, but to Ed Underground's credit, she is, like I said, like you just said, good and bad, and like the state of Star Wars is probably not in the best place.
It's
Outside of the Mandalorian, it's not in a good place, and she holds that responsibility too. So.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But you have to give her credit for the good. So anything you like, Luke coming back or little baby Yoda, which we all love, she greenlit all that stuff. So
yeah,
good and bad.
Yeah, I give it to her. But
I'll be quiet for a moment. Go ahead.
Yeah, please do. There's
a lot more I can talk about. Go ahead.
I just don't want the analogies.
That's fine. Let's just move on.
I just don't want no more analogies between books and TVs. I mean, I have gotten literally dumber. And I'm actually embracing death as it comes 1 second closer. Each second closer listening to this conversation. I'm like, death, sweet death, please come for me.
Sweet release.
Sweet release, please. But no, honestly, I think with Ghostbusters coming out, Ghostbusters come out, that was a great movie. Now with this, talking about Star Wars, great conversation for this podcast. Really quick, I guess, for our viewers, things that are coming up. Big surprise that came out. I wasn't expecting it, but Masters of the Universe Part 2 is out. I'm looking forward to that.
Season 2?
Well, no, it's just Part 2. I don't think there's going to be
anything after this. Called Part 2?
Yeah, it's just Part 2. So I think this is
it. So that's it. It's done after this.
I think it's done after this.
Yeah. It was
It's just 2-part series. So I'm very excited for it. I'm ready to see the hot, non-existent lesbian action. Sweet action.
Shocker.
Shocker. Waiting for the non action that's gonna happen there. Looking forward to that. We got the Matrix coming out, of course.
We got Cowboy Bebop. We're gonna be talking about that.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh man, we really want to.
Watch it.
Yeah, we
Creamcast. Actually, what I was surprised you haven't talked about because yesterday I noticed it. You know, there's a new Resident Evil movie.
Yes,
it
comes out today. Actually, I think is it this Tuesday or next Tuesday? I think it's this Tuesday.
I think it's out now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think this week it comes out. But I immediately thought that Creamcast probably really excited for this.
I actually am kind of excited, and I'll say that. I say that because it is supposed to be it's a remake of the horrible. I always say Wes Anderson. I don't think it's Wes Anderson. W.S. Anderson. That horrible series is now a remake. I don't want to call it a remake. It's supposed to be more true to the original reboot. Yeah, there we go. That might be a better. But I don't want to say reboot because that other Resident Evil is its own universe. I don't know where that's.
It's
Resident Evil.
Exactly.
This one seems more like a horror movie, right? As opposed to the action.
All I know is I saw Leon Kennedy is dressed exactly the way I remember Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 2. I saw a scene from our trailer or something, and he looks the same. I think even Chris Redfield looked like the same outfit.
Yeah, they got.
on. So
Yeah, they're
man,
supposed to
they're really leaning into the original game.
Yeah, and I am looking forward to it. I could tell that it's not going to be the most high budget movie. First off, it's a movie coming out on a Tuesday. When in the last ever has a big budget movie come out on a Tuesday? So I really thought this was going to be
no advertising.
zero advertising.
When I say I discovered this yesterday, I literally had to double take and go back through and be like, confirm. Sure enough, this movie's coming out in theaters.
Literally, the only advertising I saw was when I was purchasing my ticket to see Ghostbusters. I saw a little ad that popped up on my screen and say you want to skip or you want to continue this. I skipped it, but I'll see the movie. But I'm just saying that's the only advertisement I saw was an ad.
Yeah, they're not really promoting this thing. I
thought this was I thought this was a Netflix movie at first. I thought they were supposed to produce it. It was supposed to be released on Netflix, and then I saw it coming out in theaters. I was like, "That's a little weird. This is not something they've been heavily promoting." But no, I am excited to see that. As I think we've talked about in the past, we talked about the Resident Evil Into Darkness series, and that was absolute dog shit. Really upset.
Was that the CG series?
The CG series, yeah, it was trash. I did not expect it to be as bad as it was, but here we are.
Interesting.
Really quick, another CG series that is on Netflix. I forgot what it's called, but it got a 10 out of 10. I think it's based off a video game, but go check it out. I'm actually going to check it out.
League of Legends Arcane. You're talking about League of Legends.
So
a lot of
just
people.
want to say
League of Legends.
Yeah, people
They also
said
have a
that's the best.
Dota one.
Oh, they have a Dota one?
But it's
They do have
not
a Dota
CG,
one.
it's a cartoon. Yeah, it's a Dota cartoon.
Yeah, they have a Dota one.
Yeah, no, the League one is getting a lot of love.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's saying like this is the quintessential video game.
Ooh, I'm in.
Yeah, the quintessential video game adaptation, which is crazy because League of Legends when it first started out didn't have a lot of lore associated with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the lore wasn't that.
I thought it was a lore-heavy series.
Not at the beginning.
No.
At the beginning, it wasn't. And now, as the game progressed throughout the seasons, it is now very lore heavy. And then there's different branching lores based on themes like Dragon Hunters, Arcane, stuff like that. So
You know which series I thought had great development lore and just didn't go anywhere?
What's
was
that?
Overwatch.
Overwatch, yes.
Overwatch,
They really developed every character introduction built up that world, and I was so interested in it. But I feel like are they leading up to a movie or something? And then I don't even know. Is Overwatch still a thing?
It's still a
People
thing. Overwatch,
But it just it fell off the face of the earth.
I mean, Overwatch is not as popular as it was when it first started, but Overwatch, they are coming out with Overwatch 2. That's in development. And then recently, Overwatch has been in the news for all the wrong reasons, based on the Blizzard sexual harassment claims and lawsuits currently going on within this environment, to the point where McCree had his name changed.
What?
A character in-game has name changed because the character was based off of a person who has allegedly been called out for sexual harassment within Blizzard. So when that
McCree's no longer McCree?
No, his name's been changed.
I heard about that.
No, his name's been
Wow.
I
changed.
didn't know it was for that reason, though.
Yeah, one of the people, he was named after a real person within Blizzard, and that person got called out for sexual harassment. The person got terminated, I believe, and because of that, now they rechanged the name to be something else. And they actually introduced it into the lore of why McCree was pretty much hiding from his true self, and then he's like, I can't hide any longer, my real name is this. Now it'd be crazy if that new person's name turns out to be another
another
sexual harassment.
my name is
Cosby.
Wow.
Simpatico.
Yeah, wow. But
What?
yeah,
So what is the new name? I'm gonna look it up here.
I forgot what it was. But yeah, now it's
New name.
it's a new name. So yeah,
Cole Cassidy.
Cole
Phil
Cassidy.
Cosby.
Yeah.
Cole Cassidy.
Now, if a person named Cole Cassidy,
All right, that's cowboy name.
That's cowboyish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
cowboyish.
Just call him Hangman Adam Page, but you guys don't understand that, though.
No,
No.
screw
I
your
don't know what the hell that is.
whatever.
well,
Yeah.
Some lame ass thing.
Is he a sexual predator of some kind?
No, he's a AEW wrestler. But you
Who
guys-
harassed women or men?
No, neither.
Then I don't get the reference here.
well, technically he is.
He's a cowboy in AEW.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Does he wear chaps and like
Assless chaps.
assless
chaps?
chaps? Yeah. Did he wear assless chaps?
No.
With,
What are you
wears-
watching? What is AEW?
Wears blue jeans.
with no ass in them, right?
He covered blue jeans.
Covered. Okay, all right. But they got like the overalls where like they had the 2 buttons in the back for easy access. Like, hey, like, this is my new wrestling move. Watch this pencil disappear.
Anyways.
But yeah, so a lot of stuff that's
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
a lot of stuff that's coming out though. We got The Matrix coming out, obviously Spider-Man coming out, Resident Evil coming out. So we got a lot of good stuff. Cowboy Bebop I have started watching that series. I think also Green Turner, you've been watching that as well. Have you
I'm
finished
a
it?
good chunk in that.
Oh yeah, I'm about 3-4 episodes.
Really?
In. 3-4 episodes.
Yeah,
in.
I'm like
Can we get
episodes in.
your without getting? Let's save it for the next episode because I would like to
Let's just
talk
save
to you
it,
guys
yeah,
about
let's
it.
just save it, that's
But
fine.
initial impression, like very raw initial impressions. You guys have anything?
Let's just save it for next
Okay.
episode.
Okay.
No, screw you. I'm gonna say it. So,
All right, let's see.
and that'll be it for this episode. Go ahead.
right.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 25th episode of the Blurred Podcast.
He got it right
As
this time.
always, you can catch us on all major platforms. And we are live on twitch.tv/the Blurred Podcast. Catch you later, baby.
Blur you
Blur you
later.
later.
Blur later. And Cowboy Bebop, I would give it. I have very mixed feelings about it right now, but we'll talk about that in a later episode. But I like it, and I also hate it at the same time because I think I hate it. I hate it because I do like it somewhat. So,
Ooh,
anyhow,
Again, let's save it because I have a lot of thoughts on that too. So
spicy.
spicy, real
It's
spicy.
a spicy meatball.
it's a
Spicy as the wrestling and
Are we still
watches.
recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. We have an outro. Yeah.
Also to drop some very racist terms right now.
Oh,
Rittenhouse.
and that is it. See you guys out of here.